what we're going to do today is a little different than what we've been doing. This is a lot more of a technical process, and it's going to remind you more of what you can do in CAD drawing to make three-dimensional objects. So this is going to be a very structured approach. So I'm going to show you in my example, I'm going to be making let's say I'm making a dresser. Let's make it and then let's put some drawers in it. Alright, so this is my dresser. It's got drawers. Boop, 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 boop. So that's what it looks like from the front. Up here, I'm going to draw what the same thing would look like from the top if I was looking down on it. And this is across, it is 2 1/4 inches, so I need to make sure that the front of it is 2 1/4 inches. 1, 2 1/4. And then going back, I'm going to make this skinny. So it's not it doesn't come out from the wall very much. And then just like that. So I'm pretending this here is the front. So that would be the knobs coming off. So if I was going to draw the same object with the same tilt to it. So let's say I'm drawing a larger room. This is the corner of the room, and I want to know exactly how that's going to fit in the room. What I'm going to do, all of these lines that I see, I'm going to continue over, lightly of course. I want to bring these straight over. All right, so those are my lines going this way, and I'm going to bring straight down from this front corner. And from this corner here, and from this corner here. All right, so this gives me, I'm going to pay attention to this corner that I brought down. This is my most important line, and this is the point that I'm going to start from. So I need to figure out where my vanishing points are. First, I need a horizon. I'm going to put my horizon here. That's my horizon line. It can be anywhere, but to figure out where this horizon, where my vanishing points should go, the easiest thing to do is if I continue this up, wherever it hits the top, that's where I'm going to bring it down and make a vanishing point. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And wherever it hits the top, I'm going to bring a line down. And that's my other vanishing point. So now I have two vanishing points. This front corner is this point right here on my furniture, and I bring that down to there. And these are my 2 vanishing points. So I have those 3 points give me an idea of what I need to do. So starting out, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to bring this up, but I'm going to stop right there. Yeah. Going this way. Going to do the same thing, but I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to go ahead, and this is my front right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw these lines here. Wherever they cross this point is where they start from, going up to the vanishing point. And then this side is going to be right here. And I can go ahead and finish out the top like I would a cube. Make that one dark. All right. Gonna draw these down, put this one in more solid and this one in more solid. Right now I'm not going to worry about the knobs coming out. I'm just going to, if this is where my knob is, I have a point there. Bring that point down. That'll give me about where these knobs would go. And there I have this cabinet, this chest of drawers in perspective using these lines here. I know this is somewhat complicated, but it can be really helpful when you have something like a blueprint. So let's say I have something that has a refrigerator, with some cabinets that don't quite come to as far down as the refrigerator. So this can work well when we have multiple objects, and I'm going to go ahead and stick an island here. Actually, let's make that island come in a little bit so I can show you how that works. So I have the island here, the cabinets that come out. This is the refrigerator. I see this refrigerator here, the cabinets, and this is the island. To make this make sense, I made this colored and this colored so that I can see that it corresponds. And I'm going to go ahead and draw this out as a square, and that's where the ground is, so that I have a point to bring down. So this is just a line that I made on the floor so that I can square these off. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. And I have, from here I only have 3 lines to bring across. and then I'm going to have a lot more lines to bring down. So this one, this one, and then I'll also have the island lines. So this is showing how technical this can get. And I'm not going to be having you draw one this complicated. This is just so you can see how complicated you can make it. I'm going to have my vanishing point right above. So my horizon line. That's my horizon line. And I made this pretty equal so that I can put my vanishing points on either edge. So this is my point that I'm going to have as the floor. I know nothing goes beyond that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this front line and make this point. That is a point on the floor. I'm going to draw this very lightly. Everything's going to fit above this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with these back objects instead of the front objects because that's easier for me. It's going to start here. This cabinet's going to start there. So I'm going to go ahead, I know this is the farthest thing over, and make that line. To figure out how high this is going to come up, I bring this line over to here, because this is my main line, my most important line coming down. I'm going to make a dot there. And that's how far the cabinets come up. So now I have this side. I know this line is going to come into this line there, going towards the vanishing point. I can go ahead and do this bottom one as well. Yeah. So this is going to be my cabinets that I can see. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in. So again, this is the point on the floor. I bring this line down to there, and that's gonna give me where this goes to. I'm only going to this line there. There we go. It's gonna come all the way over to this line. Again, finding the height, I'm going to bring this line over to here, and that's where my height comes from. And do the same thing going this way. Go ahead and get the top. All right, now the last thing I'm gonna do, oops, I forgot to bring this line down. Last thing I'm gonna do is this refrigerator. Now I don't have a reference, well I do have a reference right here, is where that's gonna come from. So I can use this point and I'm bringing it to this line. So but I'm only going to put that much. It's not much. To find the top of this refrigerator is kind of challenging. So I need to bring this line over to here. That I then, and that gives me so I have this point. That gives me this point here on the floor. So, because that should be, if I'm bringing this over, it'll get really close to there. That I then need to get from here over to this edge and then continue over. So I can bring this, that gives me a point to start from, that I then bring this way. And that's going to be where, that gives me a new spot here. That is my starting point. So from my starting point, I can come this way and this way. As it's getting closer to the top, I need to be careful about this. There we go. Yeah. And that gives me my refrigerator. That should come to here. That's better. All right. So that way I can draw my refrigerator, my cabinet, and my island using this diagram and this diagram. So this is a way to turn an architectural drawing or two architectural drawings into a 3D rendering of those drawings. A lot of applications now will do this through 3D software, but it can be cool to know how to do it and what it is that's happening when you are 3D rendering something that's two-dimensional. So I don't expect you to do this. This is a little bit far. If you can, that would be awesome. I would like to see you do something like this. This obviously got really extreme here. That's because these are too close together. I can double this length and move that vanishing point over, and double this length and put this vanishing point here, and it'll look better. So when you do that, this gives you a ratio, how many inches this is to how many inches this is. If you double those, this is going to look better. So I encourage you to do that. So do something with just one object. It doesn't have to be a chest of drawers. And then try something with maybe two objects in it. Two objects that line up. So if I do something like a chest of drawers and something else that that line up with something coming down, but I can make them different heights. And that's going to give me something like this. So that's what I want you to do. To do one with one object, try to do 2 of these drawings. If this is hard for you, do it again, but with a different object. But if you feel like this makes sense, go ahead and try it with 2 different objects in the same space. If you're feeling super ambitious, you can do something where everything doesn't line up perfectly and you have to use a point on the floor. All right, have a good week.